Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. And it is the start of or going into the third week of the Escape the Readathon. Um, Readathon? I don't know the next word that should be there. Um, but I thought I would share kind of what I'm starting this week. I have just finished yesterday um, the Serpent and Dove series, and that vlog should already be up. But today I am starting Voyager. I am hoping to get this done and just really blow through it. We'll have to see. It is a 22-hour audiobook, and this is the mass market um, titles or um, edition. And I don't like reading mass market editions, especially when there's, excuse me, as thick as this one is. So I am primarily going to be listening to this one on audio through Scribd. And so that being said, what else am I going to do? I don't do well just listening to an audiobook. I have to have something for my hands to do. And so I am planning on, I have a baby blanket that I need to do between now and June 10th. So maybe this week I can really rock that out um, and make a big dent in Voyager. Other than that, I'm kind of just here. Um, and I might have more kind of insider clips for this week, just because I am just doing the audiobook and this is a larger book. I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish 4 books like I have been. Um, but if you look back behind me, my red stack is getting pretty tall and my unread stack is getting pretty short. Yeah, that's all that I have there. And I do have one other title that I do want to read this month that's not over there because the library doesn't have a copy and neither did my Barnes and Noble. Um, so I'm either gonna have to order it or look again and see if it's on Scribd or something. So, but that I will worry about later. Um, but I'm actually kind of a little proud of that stack over there of those red books. Um, that's 6 are up there. But I read one as a digital. Um, so there's that part. 7 books and it only being the 14th of the month. I will take it. Um, and like I said, Voyager is going to slow me down a little bit in that, but listening to it, maybe it won't slow me down as much as I think. But this Voyager is the 3rd book in the Outlander series. Most people have heard of this series, whether you've read the books, seen the books, watched the series that's out. So this is following a woman who has gone back in time. She's touched stones in Scotland that took her back 200 years in the past. In the first 2 books, we are dealing with her in 17. I know it's in the prologue. Uh, I guess it's not. Oh, my audiobook has a different prologue. And it said when. Okay, so from up to 1746 is where the first two books take place. And she left that time and came back to her present day, which was just after World War II, under the assumption that the life that she had in 1700s was done. There was nothing there for her to return to. Through events, she finds out that that's not true. And some things have come to light that have sent her where she is getting ready to head back to the 17th century to rejoin with the family that she has built there. I have loved these books so much, and they are so fun to read. So again, just like with Serpent and Dove, this one is a reread, and the Stars show, movie, or series has done really well at, for the most part, keeping with the story, although they did take a few liberties, which I'm okay with it. I didn't mind the liberties they took. I know some purists may be upset, but they basically merged certain characters and had them live on beyond what they do in the books. And then just made it a combined characters that we meet later on with this character. And like I said, it didn't bother me at all, because I really love the character who we meet in the first two books, who in the books does not continue on past there, but in the series he does. It adds a nice round feeling to what's going on there. So I'm going to read Voyager. I don't know yet how I'm going to do updates. Yes, this is a reread, but I also don't want to ruin the book for anyone who hasn't read it yet or who hasn't watched the series. So I'm going to continue to be vague, but unlike before, with Serpent and Dove, I kind of went about 50 pages in, I'd give an update, and then halfway, and then at the end. Which was fine for that book because it was only, well, I guess the last one was 600 pages. They were 500 to 600 pages, and so those were okay breaks. This one, do I have, yeah, this one is double the size of those. It's nearly 1100 pages. So I don't know. Maybe, I know that they're broken up into parts. Maybe I'll do at the end of each part. I don't know. Like I said, totally up for my feelings as I get there. And Scrib doesn't have chapter titles, or if it's part 1, part 2, so on. See if I can quickly burp. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quickly finding a part page back here. So I'll just go with it. And I'm gonna do my best. I will give updates throughout. And like I said, just do what I can. But I am excited to get into this. I have probably about an hour before I will get too tired to continue reading for tonight. So that gives me probably about an hour and a half of the audio. I do listen to it at 1.5 speed, but I might bump it up a little bit. But hopefully, an hour and a half of reading tonight before I go to bed. So at this point, I'm going to go on ahead and stop rambling, and I will talk with you shortly. Hello, friends. So I am, 29% through. I'm on page 250, which is the beginning of part 5 in this edition. And I'm having so much fun with it. It's kind of nice to have this time. Most of this first part so far has been a little bit of 1960s looking for Jamie, but mostly in 1760s where we're seeing what Jamie's been doing. It's really neat to kind of get more of his perspective. In the other books, we kind of get a little bit of his point of view, but in this one, we really, in this one, I feel that we really get his perspective, at least so far in these first 4 parts. And I am loving it. It is so fun to be back in this world. Yeah, I am definitely enjoying this. Today my daughter did go to horseback for the first time in a few weeks. And tomorrow she will be up there from like 2:30 to 6. So I also will be up there 2:30 to 6. And I'm just gonna bring some water, bring my book, listen to it, and go that route. One of the other nice things is we, as the partiers in Escape the Readathon, have hit the 3rd door. And there are 2 prompts for this one. The first one was that the title has one of the short words in it, the and of. There's a whole list of them. I can't remember what they all are off the top of my head. Oh, sorry. And then the second prompt is to consume a book in a different way than your previous read. So my previous read was mostly physical with a little bit of audio, just to help with some of the names. But I was primarily reading that one physically. I think I listened to like 50 pages out of the 625 or whatever it was. So I counted that as a physical read. This one, I am primarily listening to it because I don't like the mass markets. I am using it to keep my page count, so that I can update Storygraph easier, or more easily, I guess is. But sorry. But I am counting this in that second prompt. Now the question is, am I gonna finish this before we hit that or open the door? I don't know. Um, if today is any clue, I might be able to read 25% a day, which would be really nice. And that means that I would be done. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday I would be done. Um, but we've been really quick to open doors for this. So I don't know. Um, we'll see. I don't know where the other teams are at. I do know that the partiers are on door 3. Um, and all of this is a race to see who gets out first. Um, or I guess who gets out, because the first team to get out is the only one, I guess, that gets out. Um, so we're just gonna go with it and see. Uh, if I can help my team, great. If I can't, then I'll just put this under mood reading, and help in to get us to the next door. Because I wasn't much help either with the second door. My prompts, or the prompts, didn't fit with what I was wanting to read. So that's kind of where I'm at, but it is almost 11 o'clock, so that means bedtime for me. So I am going to log off for tonight and try to get some sleep so that I am ready for more reading tomorrow. I'll talk to you later. Hello friends. So it is Thursday night. This week we have been at the barn Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. So I've gotten more reading done than I expected, but it's also stinking hot. It's been 85, 90 degrees with high humidity, with the exception of today. Today was nice, and the end of yesterday, as a storm was getting ready to let loose, it felt really good. The cloud cover comes in. Yes, that is my sweet spot, sitting in the van, without the van running time of year. But with spending 4 to 6 hours at the barn each day this week, I have gotten a lot of reading done, not so many updates. I am, what is that? I'm over 75% done. I'm on page 800, and there are just 1060 pages, so I am very, very near the end of this one. Definitely I will be done tomorrow. I say that, I don't know, we'll have to see. So I am at the part where everything in Edinburgh has happened. Jamie and Claire are reunited. I don't really look at that as a spoiler because it's basically on the back of this one. But so they are reunited and things happen and they are on their big voyage. I do not want to give too much away in that sense. But if you have read it, you know the big voyage I'm talking about. But we are not quite at the big reveal in this one. Or what I remember being the big reveal in this one. So there is that. And I thought, since it came in the mail today, I would open my Enchanted Fandom box subscription. This one is, I got into Enchanted Fandom because their big pushing point a few years ago, I mean, this was pre 2020, was lesser celebrated fandoms. So, not so much the Moss, not so much the Rolling. It had more fandoms like Doctor Who and Firefly. That was actually the real reason I got into it. When I did the Serpent and Dove sticky buns, the recipe for that actually came from one of these Enchanted Fandom boxes. Over the years, they've kind of shifted just a little bit, and so each box, which comes bi-monthly, no, is that right? Yeah, bi-monthly, every 2 months. Bi-monthly, yes. Um, Comes with a few goodies and a book. I think I can't remember. So, okay, on occasion, there will be two shorter books. That happened with the Lost Boys. We got the first and second book shortly before the third book came out. And so this is my box for that. I'm going to go on ahead and open it. And right up front, we have an art card. I am assuming that this is for Court of Silver Flames. I'll find out just a minute in the spoiler card. It's one of the court books though, because it's the I just went blank. Anyway, it's that one. I know it is because of the character design. There's the writing on the hand though, so it might be Rysand and oh my gosh, I just went blank. Aelin? No, Aelin is in the other Moss. Alright, I'm just going to go through the cards and find out. Okay, so... okay, it says Akatar. So, it's going to be the, it's going to be Rhys and... hold on, it's going to bug. Okay, it's Rhys and Feyre. So, beautiful artwork. So, I really enjoyed this book series as well. Like I said, normally we don't have a whole lot of the more popular, or it used to be, not so much the big popular, fandoms, but we are going to go with it. So then I have a recipe card for Spaceballs. Interesting. They are prunes, apples, almonds, and cinnamon. Okay. So they're just little, like energy balls. Cool. All right. Then there's a little mesh bag. Let me pull it out of the plastic because whenever I look at them in the plastic, the light shines off of them. All right. So we have a Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland mashup. And it's just a little zipper bag, 4 pins and things like that. Then the patch. Oh wait, this is done by crafted by Starlight for that one, and the Akatar art is from Pikachu. Um, oops. The recipe cards from Enchanted Fandom themselves. And then this year they have been doing patches. And this one is a fandom neutral pass. Nope, it's in a bag. Let me take it out. It says it's not a phase. And it's just one of those iron-on patches. This is done by Novel Grounds. And there apparently is a t-shirt that you can buy with it. All right, then we have the character card. This is by Rebarden. If I am mispronouncing your guys' names, I'm so sorry. And it is Spensa from Skyward. This is really cool. It kind of hits close to home with the Sanderson boxes, so that's cool. And then there's some washi tape and post-its from Enchanted Fandom. The post-its just say, believe in yourself, that's when the magic happens, and it's teeny tiny little print down here. It's just got like a purplish border around it. And then the washi tape is stars and moons, and it says, have a magical day. I don't know if that's gonna, oh yeah, that's not gonna show. All right. Then we come to the book stuff. And the oh wait, I guess the books aren't okay. So I thought the books and this were connected, but they are not. So this is art by Arts of K. And it's an Ice Planet Barbarian artwork. And it's just a lined notebook on the inside. And then finally we have the books. Let me pull those out and unwrap them. So this month we did get 2 books. I thought that that's what was going to happen. The first one is the debut novel for Crystal Rose's books. So the first one is Lunar Paradise. And this is kind of along the same lines of Space Planet or Ice Planet Barbarians. Anna gets kidnapped from Earth and has 3 options for survival: farmer, mechanic, or rut specialist. And then we have Jairus, the alien male who has social anxiety. So it's romance, it's smut. This will probably be read next weekend. And then the sequel to this one is Lunar Luxury. And this one is Norvan escapes her father and ends up hiding as a farmer. The only problem is I've grown up as a spoiled aristocrat. I don't know anything about working the land. Maggie thinks I'm here to follow a passion for farming, and unless I want to blow my cover, I have to convince her I am who I say I am. So that's Norvan, and then Maggie. My life is perfect. I have been abducted from Earth, but I've been given my own farm on a remote planet. Now I have a sexy blue alien roommate to keep me company. These I definitely am looking forward to reading, and with it being smut den, not not in 2 days this weekend, but next weekend. These will go right into that, I'm sure. Um, I haven't even looked at the spinner wheels, honestly, to see how this is gonna work, but we'll see. So there is the box, lots of goodies. And yeah, so and that's kind of the way that these boxes have gone each month. There's a theme. Um, this month's was Magic in the Stars. And so thus all the space theme of everything, which is great and I enjoy it. It has deviated a little bit from its original. The original reason I signed up for it was that it had those fandoms that aren't as common to find items for. You know, the Doctor Who, the Firefly, I can't even remember some of the others. Um, but their focus is kind of turned toward indie authors who may not get that same brand recognition as the Mosses or the Sandersons or the other big writers out there. And so that's kind of fun. I do end up reading a lot of new authors and discovering some new stuff from them. So lots of fun. I don't think that, with the exception of one book, one box, had never heard of any of the books that we have gotten so far. The only exception was the Lost Boys series, and that was because we had just finished Smut Den and I needed some smut, and everyone was reading those last Smut Den because they fit so many of the prompts so well, and they're short. So we'll have to see. I do enjoy this box, and so I do continue getting it, even though it's not what I originally signed up for. So if you are looking for something that gets you those little goodies and recipes, and kind of promotes those indie authors who otherwise probably would not get recognized as easily, this is probably more along the lines of what you're looking for. So that is my little spiel for that. And I am going to go work on the last 25%-ish of Voyager. And then I'm looking forward to a short book. That seems really weird saying, but it's also one that I need something a little shorter. The funny part is, as I'm reading this, I can't listen to it in the car to horseback or home from horseback. So we are listening to Way of Kings in the car. Now, if you don't know, Way of Kings is the same length as this one. And I can't even point it out on the shelf because my daughter has been holding on to it. But we've been listening to the audiobook for that in the car. It's been kind of fun to re-listen to parts. I'm not getting all of it, so I'm not counting it as my reading. But I'm getting bits and pieces, and then I'm like, oh wait, you know, where's Cal at? What's Shalyn doing? What's, Adeline doing? So it's been a lot of fun to kind of remember what goes where and try not to spoil it for my daughter, because it's a big series and it's a big take on for a 12-year-old. So I am trying to encourage that while still enjoying it myself. But I am going to go and get some Voyager read, and I will check in with you at the end of the book.
Good morning, friends. Please ignore the hot mess. That is me this morning. It is Saturday morning. I've spent the last about hour and a half cleaning and listening to Voyager. I did finish that, which is exciting. And so I just need to log that. And then from there, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I have about an hour before we need to leave. My daughter has a birthday party today. So, what I'm going to do during that time, I'm not sure yet. I don't even know what I'm wearing yet. But it is what it is, and we'll figure it out as we go. Loved Voyager. I definitely remembered after I finished it that I don't like the cliffhanger that it's left on. Yeah. So I will be starting Drums of Autumn pretty soon. Not today. I need a break from the big books. I just don't know what I'm gonna read now. I have 2 books over there that are romance that I'm gonna wait for to read this weekend. I also have the 2 books for romance this weekend that I got from Enchanted Fandom. The only thing that leaves from my TBR though is the chunky one over there. And I'm not ready to read A Court of Silver Flames yet. So it's gonna stay. I can't do 2 big chunky books in a row and feel productive. So this weekend, yeah, I have a lot to do. I think I'm gonna look through Scribd and see what audiobooks I can pick up and read, because today is cleaning. My daughter has her birthday party. I have to do some shopping, and then we have to feed the horses tonight. So a lot of car. And while my daughter's in the car, we'll listen to Wave Kings. I'm tempted to let her count it as 2 books for her literature. Because the UK breaks it up into 2, why not? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Today is just lots and lots of errands. So, that's life right now. So I am going to hop off of here. This is probably going to end up being a shorter vlog, and then next week will be a short vlog too. But such is life, and I'm going to go before I really start rambling. So I will talk to you soon.
Hello, friends. So it is Saturday night. And I had a pretty productive day. I took my daughter to the birthday party she had. Sorry. We went grocery shopping. Also during all of this, well, when I dropped her off, then I had to run to the pharmacy, out of town pharmacy, um, to get my husband's meds because they're the only ones that carry it. They can reliably get it, and I will drive the 45 minutes to an hour to go get it. So, but I did that, picked up my daughter, went to the grocery store, and then I took her to her barn, or the barn that she does lessons at, so she could feed the horses. It's her night to feed. And during all of this, I started, um, sorry, I have gone blank on the exact title. It happened one summer, is what I read. Um, and this is by Tessa Bailey. It's a um, socialite, socialite, um, makes some choices that get her cut off by her stepdad, and he sends her to this little town, um, to, oh, sorry. He sends her to this little town basically because she's not doing anything, and he feels that he had to work from the bottom to the top, and she is squandering what he's done, what he's accomplished. And so he sends her to this little town to learn the value of a dollar and to sustain herself. This book was a lot of fun for me. I feel that there were some things that were kind of brushed over. Maybe it's because I was maybe it was because I was listening on audiobook and not having the actual book or even an ebook in front of me to kind of follow along. But like I felt it kind of brushed over some of those learning lessons and didn't really she didn't really show change, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Or I wasn't satisfied with, or didn't feel that the text supported her changes. A couple of scenes really cracked me up, like her not knowing that you have to crumble ground beef to cook it. Um, just it really made me giggle, and I'm like, seriously. Um, sorry, I am really tired. It's 11:15 for me. Um, so just little things like that that really made me laugh. A few things that felt disingenuous, at least from what I gathered from the text, or what my brain received from the text. But overall, great read. I was very, very, very thankful that I brought my headphones with me. My daughter, at the birthday party, I sat in the car for about 45 minutes or so, listening, 45 minutes to an hour, listening to my audiobook on my headphones. But had I not had my headphones, I don't know that I would have finished this book today. Um, because there are some very spicy scenes in it, and there's a lot of language in it. So if open door romance or a lot of language aren't really your thing, um, this may be one that you want to stay away from. But I had a great time with it. Oh, I felt that the spice was well done. and that it lent itself to the storyline. The sex scenes were not just thrown in. Or the book wasn't written around the sex, at least how it felt. If that is how Tessa Bailey does it, more power to her. She did a great job. Um, but one cool thing with finishing this book today is I am now halfway through my reading challenge for 2023. I have read 50 books so far. It is still is middle of May, so I still have a month and a half ish um, before I hit the half point of the year. For oops, oops, for this month, it is May. I have read 10 books so far. Um, wow. Yeah. I was not expecting that number. Um, and I've kept on top of, like, I have my first month of lessons done. So it's not like I'm leaving things off to be able to do this. So this has been great for me. What comes next is the question, and I have no idea. Um I have 5 days until the 72 hours and the smut den begins. I think that they're starting it on Thursday night anyway. So I don't know what I'm gonna read. Um, I want to ideally not read a lot of contemporary and romance this week, or the beginning of this week, so that I have that focus on Smut Den and I don't burn myself out on it. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, I am really struggling. I don't even, I might pick up a middle grade. I had started the Green Ember series. So, and I read the Green Ember. Now I have Ember Falls, and we have it both um, physical and digital formats. I also have 3 books that I've set up for my daughter to read, um, for her literature for this past school year. And one of them is due in 5 days. So maybe I'll pick up Neil Gaiman's Stardust and start with that one, and go from there. But I leave that decision for tomorrow. I am exhausted. I have no more energy left to make decisions. And I just finished a really good book. So I can go to sleep not knowing what I'm going to read tomorrow. And I will let you guys know what I am reading in the morning. Talk to you later. Hello, friends. So it is Wednesday night. I kind of, I guess, technically hit a reading slump a little bit. Um, I had Stardust by Neil Gaiman. Checked out from the library, and then found it was on Scribd for the audiobook as well. Listened to that off and on the last few days, but that wasn't what I was wanting to read. and I found myself on the phone a lot, just scrolling mindlessly. So today when I finished that one, I went ahead and I was going to wait until tomorrow night to start any of this. But I went ahead and grabbed some more spicy romance because that's where sorry, that's what I'm craving right now, as it were. And so that's what I'm reading. I am excited. Tonight is the last night before we start Smutden this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'll do a separate vlog for those 72 hours and post it early next week. I am struggling a little bit by thinking about the fact that we are reaching the last weekend of May. It is Memorial Day weekend coming up. So, yeah. We'll see how this goes. But enough about this weekend. Stardust was not bad. I would not. I got it originally to read with my 7th grader for her literature. But after after reading it myself, I'm going to have to do it as a read aloud if I'm going to do it. I was doing it kind of as an introduction into Neil Gaiman. But there are some things that happen in the very first chapter that my daughter isn't really interested in yet. And so if she's reading this, she's going to get to that part and just shut it and not want any more to do with it. So I'm going to have to make it a read aloud, at least for that first part. So that we can do it, or just pick another book, and that may just be what I do, is pick another book. I was not expecting that particular thing in it. Yeah. You expect a lot of the romance parts and stuff in the YA for female writers. I was not expecting it so much from Neil Gaiman, especially not in the detail that it kind of goes into in that first chapter. So, if you're putting this in the hands of a younger reader, you may want to watch that. Otherwise, it's a great book. There are just a few slightly questionable things. As my husband said, we don't go from Wings of Fire to 50 Shades of Grey. Like this, there is a time for starting to introduce this, and that's fine, and I'm okay with that idea, because no, I don't want my daughter to go from reading, fluffy middle grade like Wings of Fire to go into, full open door romance without anything in between. But she herself isn't ready for that. And so I'm just kind of trying to balance that. She doesn't like a lot of romance in any of her stories yet. And if there gets too much romance, she puts it down. We kind of had that with Heartless. Sorry. My daughter loved Lunar Chronicles. It had a little kind of, sprinkling of some romance, but it was more along those lines of the fairy tale
kind of what you expect. Cinderella and Prince Charming kiss at the end of Cinderella. So that didn't bother her so much. But she started Heartless, and the Queen of Hearts having a love interest was too much for her. And the amount of focus that I guess was on it. But anyway, that's enough of my rambling. I am going to go on ahead and end this vlog here. I know it was kind of sparse here at the end, and technically I really only talked about 2 books, one of them being a really big book, and one of them a book that kind of fell flat for me. So, I mean, that's just some weeks. But, this weekend I am looking forward to rocking out a lot of reading. So, I'm gonna head off, and if you would be so kind as to like my video and subscribe if you aren't already, I will see you next time. Bye.